people are on the internet, plus watching TV, plus looking at images that usually include images of women, advertising images or whatever, probably for around 10 hours a day at this point, a huge amount of time. So clearly anything they see is going to have some kind of effect.
I consider a perfect body to be like having curves, boobs, and like just having a nice slim like body and a big butt.
I don't have anything against like fat people, but like that's not a perfect body to me.
Anything that we're exposed to on a regular basis, like we are constantly exposed to airbrushed images, women's bodies portrayed in many different ways, but often with the ideal of thinness, and so young girls get the idea that, you know, if they don't happen to fit a particular what's considered cultural ideal, they become very uncomfortable with their bodies.
My mom has said to me many times, "Why don't you do a hair commercial? You do look really good in a hair commercial." My response, "I'm not skinny enough, so no, wouldn't happen." And that's not because someone's told me that. That's the message what I get from watching these things on TV, and it started from a very young age.
When I watch movies, when I look at the magazines, the standards of beauty almost seems like an unachievable task for women, regular women, to get, because it seems impossible.
There are certain sort of ideals of beauty in each culture that influence our experience of ourselves, of others, of how we conceptualize beauty and aesthetics.
I grew up in Jamaica, where thick, as Americans call it, girls are appreciated. So it was not until I moved here in the 10th grade that I actually had, a self-conscious feeling about my size or my weight or my height or that kind of thing.
There have been a lot of trends. Models were a little stronger in the 40s. The Rosie the Riveter phenomena made kind of stronger women kind of a more trendy thing that people wanted to see. Some models in the 60s got very skinny. It's called the Twiggy look after the model, the British model Twiggy, and they started to gain weight a little bit after that. Models today, and really over the last 10 or 15 years, have become not just extremely skinny, but they're also picking very tall, usually over 6 feet tall models.
Growing up, I've always wanted to be taller because I'm short, and I felt like that was the ideal, somebody who was about 5'7", and nobody in my family's like that, so it was like I thought we were all kind of not achieving that level of perfection that society has portrayed.
While I'm looking at the magazines and everything, and then I see myself, I'm like I don't have anything of what these girls have.
Sometimes you see, a plus size model, and it's a woman that's smaller than me, and I'm just like, just because she has hips, she can have such a tiny waist, skinny arms, but because she has hips and a butt, oh my god, she's plus size.
You sell the clothes in the stores in all the sizes, why not have models in all the sizes model your clothes?
Parents can play a huge role in helping children to feel comfortable with themselves. And often the problem is that if the parent doesn't feel comfortable with themselves, that then in addition to what the child is exposed to in the media, it's compounded by the parent's anxiety.
I think that the people around us influence how we think of things, because they might make comments that make us think of how our body is and how we want it to actually be, based on the way the people around us who are in our lives think of the way their bodies are.
This semester we've been exposed to the psychiatry part of nursing, and we are in New York Presbyterian, and they do have an eating disorder floor, unit rather. And it's pretty sad to see, girls who are beautiful and they don't feel like so. They look normal according to the standards, but they feel very inadequate inside, and the amount of anxiety that brings, it's just unbearable. So they have to purge and do crazy things trying to get the food out of their bodies.
Girls do worry very much about being fat, and the whole issue of what is fat. I mean, at what point does one say that they're fat? And clearly so many So many young girls in our culture now view themselves as fat, even if they have just a little tiny bit of excess fat on their bodies.
A lot of our friends, when we're at like lunch, they like don't want to eat a lot, and then like I'll be there and I'll eat like everything, and then I feel bad because I like food, but like everyone else is like, oh no, I'm on a diet, and then it makes me think like, do I have to start this early because I'm only 12, and why do I need to like start dieting now?
I think it's what the boys see and what they see in models, and they expect us to have it, but we don't have it. So like, I guess they bully us. They expect us to have like boobs and
And
it's just like
And they're like, you're flat, like face to face, like you're flat.
straight up.
or like to fat girls like you're fat or anything, and it's
Yeah.
like
It's like they feel bad.